Looks like we got a new friend!
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Reliant. Its continuing mission? To seek out new worlds, to defend all life and all civilizations, to boldly dare where no family has dared before.
Hi everyone and welcome to the Scraticus Academy. I'm going to run through a few bits before I hand over to the lovely Greg. So first of all, Discord, we have one. You should be over there. It's full of lots of lovely people and we're chatting all the time, so head over there. Twitter, if you want to get into one of our games, just drop Scratadm on Twitter. We have 5 viewer games this season, including D&D 5e, Ryutama, and the Cypher system, so definitely go check that out. We also have a Patreon if you would like to support us. On there, we also have some free articles written by the very lovely Renee. We also have some merch, which you can find on Redbubble, where they put that shield on literally anything. So, and I mean anything. So please go check that out as well. We also have some seriously fab sponsors. First one in the form of Bird in the Storm. And in chat, you can see the link to some of their merch, which is some of the mugs. And they also have hoodies and tops and things like that. We're currently working on something with them coming for season 3, which I'm super excited about. But that's secrets, I guess. I'm not allowed to talk about it. But also Magehand Press, who created the fabulous Dark Matter Alpha D&D 5e reskin, and it's basically D&D in space. And for all your space and sci-fi D&D needs, definitely head over there and check them out. Also, every 10 retweets, correct me if I'm wrong, Greg, we get an information pack. It's effectively just gives us a bit more info on what is going on at the time. But other than that, I'm now going to hand over to Greg. Hi, Greg.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Very, very happy to be back, flying among the stars with the crew of the USS Reliant NCC 1864A, as this legacy vessel has been dispatched to the Carina 7 system to find out what exactly is going on in this border system between the neutral zone, Romulus, and the Federation. And to recap briefly what we had happen last week, I will simply say this: go back and check out the vid on YouTube, because we do have the arrival of our Vulcan science officer. And as Takura's arrival was something to see, it's something to experience. So I will just recap. We had the arrival of Takura. We also had the arrival of acting ensign Zane Null, presumed space racist. We also had Zane Null, who his presumption of being a space racist actually led the away team to a fortified, established, and long-standing Romulan outpost on Carina 7. It looks as if the Romulans had been there for quite some time. What exactly they were doing, unknown, but with the extensive nature of this place, it looked like something that they were going to do for quite some time in the future. However, with the arrival of this variant tachyon problem, as tachyon sickness had gripped the entire planet of Carina 7, the Romulans were able to at least take care of themselves with some type of injection that prevented the aging process from seeping into them at a cellular level. The crew, with the expert shot of the acting security officer and away team commander Nat, perfectly placed and took down one of the Romulans by the name of Datak. Datak was able to give them some information, but a lot of what he was delivering was at least partially untrue. And so as this deception continued, an agreement was reached between the away team and Datak that he would take them into the base, give them the information and knowledge that they were requesting if they honored an agreement to release him. And it was just at that time, right before we were ready to enter in the session, enter into the Romulan base, that chat added something to the narrative. And as Isreaver showed up and donated what was called the Kobayashi Maru. And the Kobayashi Maru donation makes the current scene more difficult, more deadly, more terminal. And because of that, any communication with the USS Reliant currently in orbit over Carina 7 was severed. The away team was alone. They could not beam out. They could not call for reinforcements. They were marooned on Carina 7. Now, Acting Ensign Zane Knoll was sent to the shuttlecraft to guard it, keep it ready for them, and if in the ensign's mind, take any action necessary to aid the away team. Now, that last part was added, but that's what Ensign Zane Knoll thought. And though Ensign Zane Knoll looks like a human male in his 70s, it was determined by the doctor, and he was able to decide and discern that this is actually a boy of 14 years who has been aged by the process aboard this planet. But with that acting restriction in place of the Kobayashi Maru, the crew entered the Romulan outpost, saw its grandeur, and as they were being taken by Datok through the base, they noticed a room off to the right that Datok seemed not to want to allow them to enter. Most of the computer terminals had been destroyed by disruptor fire, but this one had a couple that seemed to flicker with life. With some very good rolling by the newly acquired Vulcan science officer, Takora was able to find out several items that the Romulans were looking for. They knew that the Romulans had identified the source of this tachyon dispersal was in fact artificial in nature and coming from a gas giant in the system, Carina 10. In addition to the rest of that information, they found out that a Romulan warbird was currently in the system. Now, Romulan warbirds, much like Klingons, can cloak, and so exact presence and awareness is unknown to the Federation. And with 2 additional data packs gifted by retweets and gifted by, once again, the viewers, casting their own collective narrative on the tale, the word and the name Carol Marcus was uncovered from Federation communiques that the Romulans had, as was the term Project Genesis. Now, as we go through that, and as the Vulcan science officer realized this information and told the group it's time to return to Reliant, we are just about ready to start, but I will once again say that the Kobayashi Maru that was employed in last session is still in effect. Additional Kobayashi Marus can be donated, as can the donation for Become a Child of the Star Empire, where we work together and you captain your own Romulan warbird, and you will be in direct conflict with the Reliant. And of course, at any point, Q can show up. So if any of those things interest you and you would like to put your stamp on this narrative, it is collaborative and collective. But right now, we go back into the Romulan outpost with Carina 7. The lights are flickering. Disruptor fire has stained the air with the smoke and grit of electrical burning and disbursement. And with that low flicker, Datok, bound with Nat's shackles behind him, eyes darting back and forth as he sees what this crew is doing. And I would like you all to roll me if you want to look at the talk, it's an insight. If you want to look at your surroundings, it's a reason, and security for me, please.
I'll go reason and security because I have that talent thing when I am looking for danger or hidden enemies.
Correct.
I'm going to try that.
I think I'm probably going to look at the talk. So that was insight.
All right.
And
I am
security.
also looking at the talk.
Damn it, I looked at the talk too and I saw nothing. But I was like, wow, look, Romulan. Space racist Zane was right.
And okay, so with Amat and the doctor, Amat and T both look at Datok, and with those successes, it would take 2 to realize what he was doing. So collectively, you both come to the following realization: he has just signaled somebody. and you're not sure how or why, but there was a movement independent of what he was doing. And as you look to kind of track where his eyes perked to, you see a hidden in the shadows of the flicker, a security feed, a security hollow, and a camera for all intents and purposes. And let's see, Nat, you got a complication.
Yes, and my difficulty is reduced by 1 because of that talent.
Right. So with the reduction in difficulty, here's what you come up with. You hear something in relation to this glance, just as the others realize that the talk has signaled someone. You immediately scan for problems, and you see aboard the shattered relay, maybe right passing just past Takura's shoulder as she turns to say something, you see an activation of some type of force field.
That's great.
And I'm going to take that complication in increased threat. So let me just increase my threat to 3. So I'm going to pocket that for just a second later. So I will ask you, crew, now that you have looked around, now you've noticed what you've noticed, now that you've been delivered this dire statement by the Vulcan, what do you do?
Amat has no real concept of subtlety, so they're immediately going to go, uh-oh.
Very good.
Slight problem.
Uh-huh.
Are we going to have to shoot someone? Because I've never shot anyone before.
Are we, Sub-Commander?
You are where you do not belong.
No, see, if anyone's where they do not belong, that would be you, since you're in Federation territory, as we've established.
A
So,
matter of perspective.
Sub-Commander, do you know any reason why our communications might not be working?
Not at all. Lie.
Takura couldn't tell that he was lying, but you guys can, though.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there's a collective eye roll.
I thought we were friends.
Maybe you should hug him a little tighter.
Do you want a hug?
Is that required, Sub-Commander?
What? Embracing?
Yes,
Not
do you
required.
need a hug?
Don't know. Amat's got their arms kind of out like, hey.
Which way is the force field, Greg? Is it the way that we came, or is it going farther in?
You just saw the activation of it
Yeah.
come across the security panel, because as soon as a force field is enacted, there's kind of an alert, a notification that would go across the network of the computers. You just saw defense field flash up. You don't know where it is, but you know something's been activated and triggered.
Lieutenant Takura, could you go back into the computer and find out where our little barrier just popped up?
Of course. And Takura will turn back to the console. Bleep, bloop, bleep.
Give me a reason and a science here to see if you can, again, this computer's pretty smashed, but you've got it working a bit.
Reason, science, dice pool. 2D20. Applicable focus. Probably not for this. Damn. Why doesn't it involve bugs? 2 successes.
Okay, so with 2 successes, you're able to kind of trace and see what type of alert it is. And after you get into the Romulan equivalent of a drop-down menu, you see that the entire facility now has a force field surrounding it. Now, that was only a DC of 1. You can either pocket the other success as momentum, or I can give you additional information.
I would like additional information, please, Greg.
It seems that because this facility obviously runs on independent power, that the force field itself cannot be turned off at any security station, save the one in the actual power grid room.
Okay. It appears we have an additional problem to that which is affecting our communications.
I'm so excited for you to tell me what it is, Lieutenant.
It appears that we have been trapped, as it were, within the compound. And the only way to relieve the force field would be to find the singular console.
Great.
Sub-Commander,
Yes.
my friends here, they are more prone to acting on their emotions than I. I suggest that you help us before more hugging ensues.
Hugging.
You are in no position to negotiate.
Are
That
we
sounds
not?
like a hug.
I think she's threatening you. Like she looks over at Amat, sort of slowly coming in for the hug a bit more.
It's not going to be slow if I do.
I tell you,
I'm gonna get you.
give me
Yes.
an insight and an insight and command roll as you are looking at the talk here.
From Takora?
Or anybody that's currently watching this exchange, which I'm assuming is
Yeah.
everyone.
Insight and
I really want to catch him off guard and hug him.
2 successes.
oh, 1 success, 1 complication.
Okay, so anybody that received more than 1 success, that can be pocketed as a momentum increase. I will give, I think you guys received 1. So there we go. You guys are maxed at 6. You can tell that Datak is still a bit leery. He has a lot of he wants to live very, very much. But at the same time, he is fearful of what will happen if he continues down this course of aiding you. And so he's reached a bit of a crossroads.
Sort of
So
impasse.
yeah, with his impasse, he is standing there and looking at the two of you as there's a threat of a hug, and he's weighing his own self-preservation versus honor, perhaps.
Sounds prime for hugging.
Greg, there's the what did you call it? The security console,
Security-
like the camera.
Yeah, it would be like a security capture. So yeah, it's a
Okay.
camera.
I'm gonna shoot that.
Okay. No
Since he
roll
signaled
required.
to do it.
Yeah, you're able to blast it through, and with a it just sparks a bit. He offers a slight raise of his lip in what you can only assume is a smirk or a sneer.
Cool.
Hugging.
So Ahmad, are you going in for a forceful, like full-on tactical nuke hug where you're just going to start squeezing with the arm? Or is this just is this
Before
like a
Amat does it, Amat's gonna like glance over to Takora. Like,
See, the problem here is okay, out of character. Oh, I see. We have what do we have that we can use as leverage against this guy, apart from threats of really,
Take
really
him-
intense cuddles?
Take him back to the Reliant.
Well, we'd want to take him back to the Reliant anyway, wouldn't we?
Yeah, but we told him we let him go.
That's true. Okay.
So, Lieutenant Takora, do you think you could find this console, disable the force field, and let us get back to our shuttlecraft?
It seems the only logical course of action.
Then we need to go, like now, right? Sooner the better.
Indeed.
Yeah.
The whole process would be considerably smoother if the sub-commander was willing to work with us rather than against us.
I believe that I have been helpful so far.
Indeed.
Kinda.
But she
Doug,
can
what do you
render
think?
further help.
If you'd be so good as to help, we might consider giving you one of your little vaccinations. If I recall, you were about coming up on the time that you needed it.
It's not what I said.
I know it's not what you said.
Oh, they like he doesn't need one at all for ages yet.
Again, you see this warring of self-preservation and honor across his Romulan features, but he remains silent.
See?
Yeah, he looks fine. I don't think those are crow's feet.
In that case, Lieutenant Nalan, why do we not tie up the sub-commander here, leave him, and we should go on alone? If he is to be no further use and he does not need his medication, then he has no need to come with us.
Oh, sure, we could knock him out very gently. Hide him so any buddies of his that come by won't be able to find him and he'll just be left here.
Absolutely.
That's a great idea. That is such a great idea, Lieutenant. All right. Well. They can't see where you are anymore.
Somebody between the two of you that are doing this, roll me a presence and roll me a command as you are saying things that are addressing both sides of his warring.
Yeah. Amat will like kind of pick up what they're putting down and be like, oh, I hope I don't have to tie him up. I'm not very good at the delicate things. I don't want to break his bone.
How are you with presence and command?
Bad at presence, good at command.
I'm good at presence, bad at command. So, this is exciting.
Yeah.
Now might be a good time for momentum as well.
Yeah.
Right.
I believe in you both.
Okay. I'll go for it. So you don't have to.
Okay, and you're gonna spend a momentum?
Of course. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think right now might be a good idea to go over a few of the things beyond just buying extra dice that you can use momentum for. You can use momentum to take away a condition that I've set up, something that maybe I buy threat to purchase. Another thing you can do is you can use 2 momentum to buy yourself an advantage. And by an advantage, it means that you're able to produce something that might aid or lower the DC overall for a current situation, or even in your relationship with the talk. But it's something that you as the player are able to add to the narrative and say, hey, what about this or what about that? And certain advantages can be very beneficial. They do cost 2, however. So as we try to introduce just a little bit more each week, momentum.
Yeah. I think that might be a good idea right now. I don't want him. I'd rather him stay with us and cooperate than leave him at all, even unconscious.
Well, precisely. Yeah.
Right. So
I think he's gonna get worried that we're gonna leave him to die.
yeah. I think if I were to use 2 momentum to do that, on top of buying an extra D20, I think I'm pretty scary, right? I'm scary. I'm a scary person and adorable with a little pig snout. So I think all the ways that I've treated him would lend him to being cooperative. Yeah.
Okay, so I will tell you, this is how it would work. If you decide to buy an advantage, the advantage going forward would be that Datak fears you. That would be the condition that would be set upon him, that he is scared of the lieutenant. It's thinly veiled and apparent to all. So
yeah, I really like that.
Okay, well, that's
in general.
Okay. So you're spending 3?
Yep.
There we go. Nice. Thank you for using that.
Yep, sure. Got to use it. You got to use momentum. I don't know if any of my focuses come into play here, so I'm just go for it. 3 successes! I'm terrifying.
He, as you describe how you kind of fill his vision, Amat standing off to the side almost as the potential crushing threat. You have the logistical, just tying him up and leaving him there. How do you push him over the edge? Because he's going to break now. But what do you do as the talk is worried now that if he's tied up and left somewhere and you're not sure why, but something about being left here is, you can see the fear. How do you push him to say something?
I just stop making eye contact with him like it's already a decided thing. I'm going to kind of like touch him on the shoulder and just like sit him down at the computer terminal and like completely turn away from him and just signal to Amat to start tying him up and kind of twirl my phaser in my fingers just like casually as I talk to my crew about what we're going to do next. Like it's already decided. He's staying.
Wait. You must take me with you.
Must? I don't
Yes,
think we
I will.
must.
He looks at the area where the capture has been shot and is still smoking and sparking a bit. I can help you if you promise to take me with you.
We can certainly promise that.
His eyes look over at the doctor. Your Federation, you cannot leave someone in a circumstance that could injure them, can you?
Oh, no, I can't, but she can.
I will help you if you take me with you.
Help means no more covert signaling.
And as he stares at the security officer with the aforementioned pig-like nose that seems to be terrifying to him right now. Very, very well. Very well. Not a lie.
All right, Ensign Vol, why don't you help the sub-commander up?
And they will like put their hand out.
His arms are bound behind him and he kind of leans into your arm, so you kind of like grab his shoulder.
Yeah, they'll hook their hand underneath the shoulder that's closest to them and kind of like whoop, like Inspector Gadget him to his feet.
And that's with the prosthetic arm, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, with the strength of Federation hydraulics and countermeasures and servos, he is lifted, and almost for a moment his toes go up as the entirety of his bulk is raised by the promise of a hug in Amat's arm, and he realizes in just how precarious a situation he's currently in, and he nods at Amat. Thank you.
Do you want to hold hands?
No.
Good.
Great. So, Sub-Commander, the console we're looking for to deactivate the force field.
If it's still functional, it should be the last thing that is destroyed. It will be in the power room.
It is also imperative that we restore communications.
All of it will be in the hub at the end of this hall.
Is anyone waiting there?
Probably.
Like your best guess, how many?
2.
Great.
Will they shoot to kill?
His eyebrow cocks up in a very Vulcan-like response. We always shoot to kill.
Ugh, rude.
Is there only one entrance to the hub?
Only one from here. Everything else has been sealed. If the force field is up, The back entrances will be sealed as well. This is the only way.
So, a frontal assault.
Seems like. All right.
How did everyone do in tactical training?
Very well.
Ensign?
Well,
Doctor?
I did really well the first time that I qualified for a mission, but I just really haven't had time to go back and retrain for this one. So
It's not my it was not what I was best at, but you know, I read the books.
Great. So, docking back.
I can still do it.
I didn't say you couldn't. Docking back. How about you, Takora?
I do not think I am as skilled as you are, Lieutenant, but I can hold my own.
Great. So, all right. Ensign, you see. Oh, yeah, what's up?
I'm sorry, I'm just going to say right now that we did have a gift of knowledge for both T and Amat from Twitter of Vecna, and it's at this point that I would like to give Amat their knowledge. Amat, as you help away from the computer station, and you see, you know, as he's swinging at everybody and Nat begins to kind of issue orders, your eyes go back to the computer screen, and for a moment you see the notification come across, and the notification says self-destruct protocols initiated.
oops. Lieutenant, any of the lieutenants, that's fine. This place is gonna blow up.
What?
This place is gonna blow up. The computer says so. It's gonna blow up. It's gonna blow itself up.
How long do we have?
If they have started it, and at this point you realize this is the self-preservation, and it has won. If they have started the destruct sequence, it will burn everything out of here with plasma. We can still stop it. We must get to the power room as quickly as possible.
How long, Sub-Commander?
Moments, minutes, I don't know how far in the process they are. I couldn't see before I was... He looks over at Nat. Threatened.
All right. Ensign, you take to talk. Takora, you're behind me. Doc, you're in the back. I'll take point. Let's move. Phasers to
Looks like we
stun.
got a new friend.
Okay, so as you exit back out into the hallway that Tatak was originally taking you through, as you walk, you notice that several of these doors, and this facility is Spartan, as we explained before in the narrative, but it does go so far as several of these doors have at least a title, and some of them seem to be bearing the name of almost like an office. And as you go by, you see Detox, and for a moment his eyes kind of glance over to the door that held presumably his office, and when you look, you realize
Looks like we
that
got a new friend.
if, and I'll give this to you for free as part of what Amat, their knowledge, and once again we got a 10 retweet for a data pad, so I'm going to give you all of this in its entirety as your tricorders are able to, if no one speaks Romulan, it tells you what it says. Everybody here, and there are several different, you see a sub-commander Teleria, and it appears that they are a subatomic particle and molecular biologist. It seems that Datak himself seems to be some type of subatomic particle specialist. And also appears that he's probably third in command. If the way that these offices are positioned, it's Datak, this Sub-Commander Teleria, and at the very end, beside what is labeled the power room, you see Commander Marok. And there's no indication of what their speciality is, but it just seems that station and rank has its privilege in hallways and on starships. But those are the names that you are given as you walk through, and you stand before the power supply room.
Specializes in evil.
Oh God, I just pictured a Romulan with a mustache.
Just twirl.
No, he'll have a goatee. All the evil people in Star Trek.
That's true.
Right.
And we'll have an English accent.
Yes.
Great. So I assume the door is closed. Is it just metal? Is there a window or anything like that?
Unlike it's an older door in that it opens. It does not slide. It seems that once again, with the Spartan nature of this place, anything that could have reduced power output or could have produced a power spike that would appear on a sensor, this place is running silent. So the doors are all manual. And it looks to be made of titanium.
Perfect for kicking in, though.
Perfect for kicking in.
Oh, I do love kicking in the door. I haven't done that in so long.
Get the door.
No, I think we should have to talk open it.
Fine.
You see him, I'm tied behind my back.
Ugh.
Oh, well, I guess I could open it, but then you could walk through. Thank you so much for that suggestion.
I don't have my arms free. If you want me to help you, free my arms. I am unarmed. Literally.
Is it just like a hand pad or something?
It seems to be like a lever action handle.
Oh.
It's like a real door. It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
A real door in Star
What is
Trek.
that?
I was like, what?
Wait, what
I
is
was like,
this
where's the
strange contraption, right?
Obviously
a model turn him around and like position his hands near the door handle. Like, you can do it. I believe in you.
I can't. He tries.
Okay.
This is
Do-
pathetic.
Do I get do I get the sense
Sorry.
that he's now kind of
Broken? Yeah.
oh Greg, don't
Oh,
shame
he's
me.
fine.
He's scared.
Stop.
He's
Come on. You can't shame me.
They
and
always
guilt me.
shoot to kill. They always shoot
I
to
can
kill.
do whatever I want.
Remember that. No remorse. No remorse. I'm sorry. I just watched The Punisher earlier today. So I'm just really excited.
A mott with just a sprinkling of Frank Castle today. So
All right. Okay.
It's killing them.
Fine. Ugh. I'm going to gently open the door just in case. No, they're definitely waiting
Do
for
I
us.
need to
Never
remind
mind.
you
I'm just
that we
gonna
have
kick in the
pressed
stupid
time?
door. I'm kicking in the stupid door.
okay, so as you kick in the stupid door, I would like you to roll for me we're gonna go fitness and security to see how much you kick in the stupid door.
And now using my words against me.
0 complications. She just sprains her ankle.
Please,
Just shatters her head.
Sorry. I'm
Right.
sorry.
please,
I
please.
just- Oh, that's awesome.
Listen, when it's security and fitness based, and that's gonna crush. So as this yes, this door not only is kicked in, it's kicked off the frame because a lot of the facility has suffered, some of the smaller parts. They don't give injections to the titanium in this door, so it suffered from the tachyon sickness that a lot of the inanimate objects have. And so with this kick, it breaks in half and the pieces, almost like a Dutch door, go flying into the power supply. It is so explosive and savage that Datak, who is right by the door, you haven't really moved him back, you hear him go, ah! As it boom, as it shatters, and he kind of spins and tries to push himself back against Amat as this violence occurs.
Aw,
So
Amat embraces him.
And his
He gives-
nightmare continues.
Okay.
yeah, he gives another as you grab hold, and
Nat looks very calm.
you can't tell he's wearing dark pants. So-
I'll just imagine.
Yeah, it's a safe bet at this point.
Yes.
So let me see here as
Nat just kicks in the door like Samuel L. Jackson.
Fuck yeah.
I'm sorry. Somebody in chat said, as you kick in the stupid door, the soft focus comes upon group chat, romantic music ensues. I just imagine a kick in the door and like the Careless Whisper sax starts playing.
yeah. So,
You guys are so crazy.
The Instagram filter just like, it's a heart.
Oh my god, yeah. That's my favorite filter.
Mine too.
Yeah, I use it for my morning coffee.
Guys, the Romulan just critted the shit out of something. Everybody.
Okay, everyone, heads back in the game, guys. Heads in the game.
Is that a critical hug?
it is not, and that was not the talk. So as the door explodes on the inside, you're the first one to notice, Nat, as you see two Romulans. They are both by what looks to be a power regulator or a power generator of sorts. The banks of computers and pads and screens in this particular room have not been disrupted. They are all active. They are all have current readouts flashing over them. And as the two see you, one of them stands up and twists what looks like a manual dial on a device on the outside of the power regulator. And as the twist occurs, with that crit, they turn and you see one of them flip open a communicator and you hear them say something in Romulan. Does anyone speak Romulan? You hear them speak in Romulese, and you're not sure what was said, but you see them both duck down around this power regulator and the computer banks as they prepare to do something. However, I am going to give you the security bounce to be able to do something as you... They knew you were coming from the warning to talk, Gabe. They weren't expecting an exploding door. So with one finish, they jump into cover. Nat, what do you do as we enter our first round of combat in Star Trek?
Oh, Greg.
Yeah.
Greg.
Yes.
How big is this door?
How big is the door? Can you use it as a shield?
Yeah.
I will allow you to spend momentum to use it as a shield and give yourself, make it an extra DC to hit you.
Sure,
you
that
want-
sounds fun.
Now, with that being said, you just kicked this door in half.
yeah.
You're not real sure how well or how long it
No.
will handle any type of protection, but I'll tell you this, it would at least handle a shot and give you like a +2 resistance.
Cool. Yeah, that's what I think she wants to do, especially if she's, going to be going around a corner in a second. Did I get any momentum from kicking the door?
Let's see, it was a 1, so yeah.
Okay.
As you would have actually gotten 3 more because both of those were crits, right?
One was a crit, so I think
Oh, okay.
2 more.
Yeah.
Okay. Then yeah,
But-
she's gonna scoop up a bit of the door just until she can get a bearing on what's happening. And she's gonna go find one of these Romulans, probably the one who, if she sees the one who didn't say something into their communicator, she'll stun them right away. Yeah, I mean, she'll probably stun both, but keeping an eye out for the one that did talk.
Okay, so yeah, they both have dropped below range. You can still kind of see them, so the difficulty level of shooting them is up. But I mean, they're still able to be fired upon, as Nat wouldn't just blindly fire at the air or anything like that. So you go ahead, and if you want to roll the first attack roll of the game, as let's do, for you, I think it's daring and security.
I think so. I think I just rolled my phaser thing.
Oh, it's control and security. I'm sorry, control and security for your ranged phaser.
Yeah. I will. Yeah, let's do this. And I do have an applicable focus. It's phasers. So.
That seems right on the money. So
okay. Yeah, 1 success.
Okay, so with 1 success, the phaser shot goes high just as one of the Romulans ducks back down. And then we bounce over to the Romulans. And so the Romulans are going to return fire, or the first one is anyway. As with a shot, again, it doesn't hit, it doesn't get taken into the door, but as the shot fires wide, everybody back out in the hall, Takora, T, and Amat, and even Datak would hear this beginning exchange of phaser fire as the goes back and forth, and the disruptors are a meteor sound. They don't have the filters, the non-lethal quality to them, so there's an energy blast as they fire, just as they rip through, and you see the green explosion of sparks along the door. We jump back and forth in this game unless I elect to spend threat and have my people go, or my NPCs go one after the other. We're not going to do that. So I will simply ask Nat, who would you like in your party to go next now that it is your turn?
Takora.
Okay, sorry, I was muted. Okay, Takora. Stoic science officer is a little bit worried, but none of you know that because she looks on it. Okay, instead of directly entering the room, I'd like to take cover against it so she can peer around, like in Mass Effect or whatever. And I will take aim with my Type 1 phaser at the Romulan with the communicator. With my phaser set to stun, as was instructed by the lieutenant.
Great. So you roll through and fire with what looks like a remote control device or something that would open a garage door nowadays. Go ahead and shoot, and we will see how you do. It is control and security, please.
So, control. No applicable focuses. 1 success.
Okay, so again we have this as these phasers are firing back and forth, and Takora, as you turn and spin, another one of the Romulans pops up and fires another shot.
Please don't kill me.
You see it, they immediately turn onto the new entrant, and that disruptor fires off, and you feel the smash against you as it fuses some of the already weakened tritanium into a glassy smear that kind of liquefies a bit as you come into the room. The Romulans have gone, and now I will go back and ask Takora, who among your party would you like to go next?
I think it's best if the doc goes next.
Yeah, she will. T will probably almost try and mimic what Takora does. Not really know it. This isn't her sort of area, so she watches, and she will probably reach out and try and feel to see if Nat is either scared or just normal Nat being determined, probably
They're
just like
great.
pumped up. You can
Yeah.
just feel it going, yes!
Adrenaline going.
Yes!
That's exactly right. There's a nice beat going on in her head right now. She
Yeah.
feels very comfortable in this position.
Yeah, and T, like, you can probably physically see her, okay, and just sort of throw herself to the other side of the door and lean in and fire as well.
Okay. So with the beat that was probably also in the head of Furiosa and John Wick, as the spin and the shot of the doctor, fire me a control and a security.
Oddly, I think it's a total eclipse of the heart.
I'm down with it. I'm 100% down with that.
Can I use trust your instincts as one of my focuses, or is that not applicable?
Trust your instincts is more of like a reason and an
More of a
insight.
reason. Okay.
Right, right. As you all are firing, there's just a literal kind of Civil War moment where the two lines have fired and phasers are going back and forth, and everybody's still alive as no one's in this immediate, hectic, chaotic moment. Everyone's kind of getting an idea of proximity and tactical approach, and all of these phasers go firing. As the Romulans are out of people, I will simply say, do you hand this off to Amat, or do you want to start the rollover again? Amat, you are out there now with the talk, who, after having seen everybody else go in there, slowly turns and looks at you, presumably from your position behind him.
Is there anything out in the hallway I can throw?
To talk.
Amat will set both of their hands on Tatak's shoulders and say, I really like you, and I think we could be friends, so I'm super sorry about this. And Amat will throw Tatak into the room at one of the Romulans.
No, wait! So roll me a fitness and a security as you toss Tatak into the aforementioned Civil War battleground between both.
No.
The dog
Oh,
just
no.
watches this horrible.
You'll be fine. Land on your feet. I believe in you. Let's see whether or not I screwed this up because I don't have any focuses to
I
help.
like to talk.
I like to talk too, but he would have shot us dead.
I hope
I
you
know he tried.
He'll be fine.
wherewithal to say, it's me, Sub-Commander to talk, cease fire.
Technically, this is his fault.
So with 2 successes, exactly what you needed to throw Tatak into the middle of the area.
Oh my god.
T, Takura, Nat with total eclipse of the heart pounding in between her ears. You all three see Sub-Commander Tatak. Wait, no, please! And all of a sudden, he just slides on his knees, almost as if he were a lead singer from a band with his arms behind him. As he hits his knees and goes to the ground, he's, no, wait, stop, everybody, stop firing! But if the Romulans notice, they do not care. As we
He's
go
fine.
back to the top of the order as Nat, you now have the talk in the middle of this battleground. But once again, everything is applicable as before.
Yeah. Are the two Romulans together? Or are they kind of on different sides of this panel?
They have about 10 feet in between them. They are, one's behind a panel, one's behind the power regulator.
Okay. So, like, is it conceivable if I wanted to just, with my door shield, charge them? Like, tackle them with this? Like, into each other?
If you wanted to take one of them and just freight train them,
Yeah.
sure.
Cool.
Roll me a
That's-
melee attack. Or roll me,
Yeah.
roll me.
Yeah. I have unarmed strike. Should I use that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please.
Cool. That sounds crazy. I'm gonna do it. Great. Um,
Daring. This is a daring and security.
yeah.
So
I know. I'll use a momentum to add a die, and I do have an applicable. Well, maybe hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh my god, amazing.
Okay, so as everything pops up, knockdown, non-lethal, vicious, that's because we've had multiple effects rolled. It looks to
So
be
all my effects do an extra point of damage.
right. So roll your damage as they come through, and we'll see what effects. Okay, we have one effect, which this one's going to be, if we don't have multiple, it can't be knocked down, so it's going to be vicious.
Yeah.
As you go in there, you do 4 damage to, which one do you want to pick? You can go after the one behind the counter was the one that made the call. The one behind the regulator is the one that turned the dial. Do you have a preference, or?
No, I don't think so. She's just trying to get the disruptors out of their hands.
Okay, so with that massive amount of successes, because that's going to give you 4 more than what you need, I'll allow you to spend 2 immediately to use your shield, like Cap America style, to smack the disruptor out of the hand.
Yeah.
So the disruptor goes firing, and then you bodily bowl your way into the Romulan, who offers a very talk like as you crash and smash into this Romulan, driving them into the ground.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Baller. Okay, so now I'm like on top of him, and I've got the shield in the direction of the other one, in case he decides
Right.
to shoot me.
Which the other one is made that decision, and having very little concern for their friend, fires anyway from 10 feet away. And it goes over the shoulder, as these 2 scientists who are firing disruptors don't really have what it takes to measure up to a Starfleet security officer, which is become very evident by the fact that one of them is being throttled beneath. So you can hand this back off to anybody of your choosing, Nat, in your party. Who would it be, Lauren?
Takora.
Okay. Whilst the second scientist is distracted by the enraged security officer, Takora would like to, first of all, forward roll behind the other guy and nerve pinch him. That's right, guys.
This is going to happen no matter what. So I'm going to need a daring and a security.
Daring's not my strong suit. Security's not my strong suit.
Greg, so
momentum.
Yeah, I think so. I think then 2 more go back in the pool, right, Greg?
Correct. I was going to say, yeah, you can up the momentum back up to 6. So if you want to, here's the way to do the momentum. Buy an extra die for 1, buy 2 extra dice for 3, or 3 extra dice for 5 momentum. If you want to guarantee success, you may allot whatever you'd like. Or if you can think of an advantage for 2 that might aid you or reduce what would be needed to attack this person.
Well, I mean, as a Vulcan, would I have specialist knowledge of the close physiology between Romulans and Vulcans to make this an extra successful nerve pinch?
Oh, yeah. If this happens, this is going to be, like a pants wetting, I can't have no control of my body type of moment. And as Jem said in chat, please remember your rerolls, everybody. Chat has been throwing those out. So now, yep, you have 1 extra reroll. So even if this goes awry, you have the ability to kind of.
Okay. So how many D20s do I have now? If I've got if I spend 1 momentum for an extra D20, and for advantage, what am I doing, Greg? Help me.
Okay, go ahead and roll. Pull up your daring, and then select security, and you should be able to add. It'll ask for additional dice.
Yeah.
Add 1 because you're getting the drop on them using your own physiology, one of your own your focuses, and then if you want to add momentum, add another die according to that little
Okay,
drop
so
die.
3d20 in total.
3d20 unless you want to buy some more momentum.
I'm just gonna go with 3d20 because this has taken a long time.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well,
Well, the good news is you only needed one. So go ahead and you should have your unarmed attack on your sheet, hopefully.
I have nerve pinch. Specifically.
Right. Go ahead and roll that nerve pinch action, and let's see what we've.
Nerve pinch from a science perspective.
Right.
Oh, wait. Oh, damn it. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button, guys. Guys. It's okay. I know what I'm doing. I've done this before.
Everyone, this is our first combat. We're fine.
Okay. Roll damage. 6? Is that good?
6 is really good, and with the 6, as you grab hold, Nat, you would see as you look up, this scientist two-hands the pistol and points it at you, trying to get another shot off, and then all of a sudden you see one eye roll up in as the other one maintains a bit of a planar glare as it collapses to the ground, and you see your science officer standing behind as you are all out of combat right now. And you see this device flashing as Datak is literally shaking from his knees in the area as he realizes, had the phaser fire not been turned into a melee, he was likely going to get shot. So he's as he's just breathing in gasps, and after a moment his eyes flash towards the power regulator. It's the self-destruct mechanism.
Can you turn it off?
He shows his hand.
Aw, Amat will help him to his feet and like ruffle his hair a little. You did so good.
I will. I'm gonna stay where I am. Ensign, bring me my manacles. Those are my favorite pair.
Okay.
But keep a hand on the talk. Help him to the console.
What kind of manacles are these? Do they have like a key code?
You don't know.
Okay.
No, they're just like standard manacles. There's nothing weird about them. There's nothing weird about this.
Yeah. Do I have access to a key to open them?
Yeah.
Because Amat's like first thing is like, oh, I could probably break these.
Don't break. Those are.
Okay.
They're
the
comfy.
self-destruct sequence.
Right. Come here. I will undo the manacles myself.
Okay. And so we'll like, Amat will like hands under his armpits and like over and gently set him down.
Nat and Amat are helping Datak become unbound and then moved to the explosive device, the self-destruct mechanism. Takura, you are aiding in the self-destruct mechanism, or
Absolutely.
are you?
Well, aiding to
disarm it.
Disarm it. Please.
Heel turn. Takura's evil.
Trap us.
And then T, what are you doing?
T knows she knows nothing about any of these sorts of things, so she's going around these Romulans and trying to get all of these like effectively anti-aging sort of and just digging through their pockets and trying to get everything out of them.
You find a hypo on both of these two, and what you will also notice is there are panels in here, T, that none of the rest of the computers all seem to be smashed or disrupted. These are left active, and a couple of these you can tell are medical profiles.
Yeah, she will head straight over there and start looking at it all and trying to download effectively all the information she can to take back.
Okay, so to see what you can get, and you're going to get something because you were gifted information before. But in addition to that, I'd like you to roll a reason and a science or medicine.
Okay.
So. And we've had rerolls come in from somebody called Big Pig. So everybody make sure that you add those to your totals.
There we go. It's a double.
Okay. So with that success, you realize that you have downloaded into your tricorder now the actual chemical formula that they had been using to inoculate themselves against this tachyon sickness. Again, it is genetically coded specifically for Romulans. Again, you would immediately know that this is probably would work with Takora. And as you get all of this together, you're the one that turns and you see a green light kind of emit from the center of both of the Romulans on the ground as a Romulan transporter, and you see both of them disappear.
She sort of turns around excitedly because she's got this information, and as she sees it, it's like, no, Nat, and she just starts shouting and pointing.
But they didn't get
To talk.
to talk.
No, because we
The
took his communicator.
Now, some word to talk's communicator.
Yeah.
Here.
That feels good.
How do we disarm the self-destruct sequence to talk?
As he's sitting there and he looks up, and as soon as he looks up, he looks back at where the green glows have disappeared, and he goes, "They changed the code," as he continues to hit a 4-digit sequence, and absolute panic embraces him. The force field's back up. We're going to die.
Takora, again, I ask you, how are you with computers? Is there a manual override?
I have some experience. I can certainly try. But I cannot promise you that I would be successful.
To talk, is there a manual override?
He's looking around, but you can tell that whatever they've done, and I'll give you this for free, the Romulans have a sort of a Klingon streak in them. When the opportunity presents itself to advance in rank, a lot of times that's done not with combat like the Klingons do, but with accidents where sub-commanders and commanders meet an end, either worked with some type of, where a sub-commander makes a commander look bad, and it looks as if these two scientists that have just teleported out or transported out maybe wanted to have Datak's job, and you can see it coming across his face. Those fools. As he's looking around, you guys are going to need to help him. He is absolutely on his nerves are shot from what you all have done to him. He has literally been shot and thrown into a battlefield by Amat. So this guy's not you don't want him heading the charge to save all of your lives right now. So what I would like from everyone, if you want to work on this, I need either a reason plus engineering or a reason plus security. And also, as you were looking, T, you saw that there is some way that you might be able to drop the security, the force field around this thing. Someone could work on it too, but it would be a reason plus engineering separate from that. So there may be a way to drop the force field. I just need to know what you all are doing.
So I rolled for reason and engineering.
As have I.
But it wasn't super great, even though my reason and engineering are nice.
What's the reason security for, Greg?
Reason security is to see if you can take down and disrupt what is the I'm sorry, let me put my music down a bit. The the self-destruct mechanism.
Okay, I'll do that. Ooh. That seems like it's important. You know, that seems like it's important, right, guys? That seems important. I hate using these. I'm going to use my determination for the session, and I'm going to disable the self-destruct sequence.
Okay, with your successes as you disable the self-destruct mechanism, you realize that whatever has occurred because additional time had been taken, there is some version of a warp core breach going on. Even though there's no antimatter here, they power their bases using singularities. And this singularity's containment has been breached as part of the self-destruct mechanism. It will not be as quick, but this place is going to go away. But you've given everybody in here several more moments than what you would have had.
We need to leave. Can you, one of you who's working in the force field, here's a question. Can you program it to give us a certain window of time out and then close before the self-destruct so that the explosion would actually be contained within the force field?
Datak immediately begins to shake his head. It will drop the force field right before the explosion goes off. It will lose power. It's meant to cleanse this place.
This place? Do you mean the compound or you mean the whole of Karina 7?
The surrounding area.
Well, yay. At least we're in the caverns, but I don't know how far surrounding area means. We have to get back to the shuttlecraft and get out.
Indeed, it is imperative.
So, but the force field is going to go down before it explodes. Is there any way to just have any of you had success in lowering it?
Reason and engineering. If somebody is working on that, let me know what your successes were, please.
Yeah,
So, go ahead, Alice.
I just got 1 on that one.
Yeah, me too. But I might use a reroll because I think this is kind of important.
Yeah.
So,
It is. So
I'm
if you're going to use a
one of my rerolls.
sounds good.
Okay. Reason.
And we do have momentum if you want to use any of that, and you have determination for the session as well.
That is true. Can I spend a momentum, please? I don't think I have an applicable focus. Yes. That looks slightly healthier.
It drops down and you see the force field indicators drop, but it does not go into the green, it goes into the yellow. And Datak immediately begins to move towards the door. But instead of running himself, he looks back. It's going to explode, come on!
All right, yeah, we're gonna move with him, and as we're going, if the force field's down, I'm going to start trying to contact Reliant again to maybe beam us out if we don't have time.
As soon as the force field goes down and you touch your communicator, you still hear that.
Okay.
But as you're running, I'd like everybody to make me a fitness and security as you're sprinting through the facility. You're not sure how long is the window for the force field, but it's down now and you're heading towards the front door.
I would like for Amat to be in the forefront with the talk and use evasive action to chart the quickest way to the exit without anybody tripping over stuff.
Okay. So, yep, you're able to kind of find as the crow flies around the hindrances that might be there. In fact, you redirect Datak, who, as he's running kind of blindly, maybe you grab and move him as he
grab his arm, just like, no. I'm sorry, you said fitness and
security, please.
Security, awesome.
And Greg, can I use my crit to help the doc?
Boop.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
So, Amat, you're able to point out and chart the course. Takora, you're able to keep up with everybody as you're running behind. Doc, as you're running, you turn to look just as something catches your eye, another one of those hypo sprays, and it's just enough to catch the tip of your shoe as you fall and hit the ground and slide a bit. And as soon as you hit and are getting ready to collect yourself, you feel a hand grab the back of your uniform and lift you up as Nat half carries you towards the door to the outside of the facility. And all of you jump through the holographic wall, that weird mist feeling again passing through you. But as you go through, the last person through being Nat, as she pitches the dock, Nat, right behind you, you hear a hum as the force field comes back to life. But you are all out.
Keep running.
Okay, so as you all are running, I want another fitness and security because you're running quite a distance if you're heading all the way back to the shuttle.
Do we see Zane on the way at all?
Better
Zane
be
was sent
not.
back to the shuttle.
Yeah. Okay.
2 successes.
Okay, let me know if you didn't get any successes,
Okay.
Takora. Okay. So as this is happening, you guys begin to feel the ground experience seismic activity as on the science side of everything, the singularity is beginning to pierce into the mantle and the crust of the planet in this particular region. And with each shot, there's a reverberation through the ground, and one of those is almost focused directly below Takora. And Takora, you just feel the ground disappear beneath you as you just stumble and crash to the ground, rolling a bit. The impeccable Vulcan uniform of the Federation, now covered in the very rich earth of Carina 7. Nat, you're stopping to grab, or
Yep.
I was going to say, can I help at all if I'm near Nat? Because Nat's sort of thrown me out of the...
yes. So with it, you had a crit on that too, T. So you were able to, all of you kind of grab Takora up and continue the run, but it slowed you all down a bit. Everyone make another fitness and security, or security and fitness, as you are running now towards where you need to be. And are you still using your communicator, Nat?
Constantly.
Okay.
I'm just streaming, go, 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 go.
Evasive
Oh,
action.
God.
Oh my god.
Alice, do you have a
One
reroll?
of those, please.
Oh man.
Oh, guys,
I'm
we're gonna die.
I'm gonna go ahead and use my reroll.
I'm gonna reroll as
Do it.
well.
Reroll. No.
It was really fun playing with y'all.
So who's using rerolls?
I am.
Yeah, evasive action, please. You said I had 3 of those, right?
I have you. We got some extra ones in. So TK, you have 4 left, according to what I have. I don't know.
So I have 3.
I'll check.
I just used one, but I'm sorry. I'm gonna do this until I get it right.
Do it.
We're gonna
Because
take
it's
2
good.
on this. Because I'm not dying here. I hate it. Ugh, fine, good enough.
So, narratively, Amat, as you have this rocking, you kind of stop and do this dance as you, almost like a sailor on a ship, back and forth as their feet kind of independently move as the ground lurches and shifts beneath them. Doc, did you re-roll, or are you taking the...
Yeah, no, I re-rolled and I got 1.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't see it pass through there. There you are, okay. So again, everyone's kind of getting slowed down a bit here, as 1 is what you need to kind of keep pace. You're all moving, and as you get down to the bottom of the valley, you turn and realize you have a good mile to go before you get to the shuttle. And as you're running, the ground begins, and as you touch your communication, or your communicator, Nat, you do not hear the Reliant, but you hear Ensign Zane Knoll.
Ensign Knoll, do you know how to work a transporter?
I do not.
I'm gonna walk you through it. All right? I need you to do exactly what I say.
What's going on?
We are evacuating. We're gonna take you on a trip to a starship, Zane. So listen up.
Again, a rock goes through, and you realize that as this quake shivers throughout the area. What was that? You
I don't
realize
need-
that Zane felt it too.
You don't need to worry about that. You just need to listen to my voice and you need to do what I say. All right?
I'm coming to you.
No. Do you know how to
hear
fly?
You hear the whine of a shuttle begin to lift off the ground.
Do you know how to fly, Zane?
He can't be a worse pilot than me.
Okay.
Zane,
Okay.
the line is still open, but Zane is not talking anymore as he is apparently concentrating on whatever it is he's doing.
Okay. Keep moving, everyone. We're gonna meet Zane.
Has
I
our
think-
newest ensign at least been able to contact the Reliant from the community in the shuttle?
I don't know. He's not answering me anymore.
Wait,
The
wait.
line's just open.
He's flying it?
If
I
the
think so.
As you all are running, you see lift up above the cork trees. You see your shuttle lift up as one of the trees explodes and the dead leaves that are still hanging from the branches kind of shatter into the wind. And you hear, oh, okay, I got it.
Amat's gonna tap into the line, yeah. Zane, you're doing such a good job, and use inspiration, one of their focuses, to sort of guide him through landing the shuttle, because Amat can land a shuttle.
Uh-huh.
Okay, roll me a daring and a con and give yourself a bonus as you're relaying this information to Zane as the nose of the shuttle dips back down towards Karina 7, and all you hear coming from the cockpit is, okay.
Just so everyone knows, I have a 1 in daring and a 1 in con.
And
I have 2
determination. And yeah, you have rerolls and determination.
Oh yeah, I forgot to put determination on there. Whoops. Let's try again. How do I put determination on there? Do I just
You
add
just
another?
call it. You just
Yeah.
call it.
Oh, can I just?
And determination will give you 2 automatic successes.
Oh, that's
as
fantastic.
Yep. So with the determination being used, you see the shuttlecraft's nose rights itself, and Zane goes, "Okay, I'm coming." And you see, maybe faster than the shuttle should be flying, it rockets towards your position. The nacelles on the side are glowing, which is usually something you don't do suborbital, but Zane's
Oh,
on
you're
his
doing
way.
such a good job.
I'm going real fast.
I'm gonna die.
Yeah, you're going real fast.
We're not gonna die, T.
Why is he flying this? And why? Like, is it becoming like
see me? I'm
intimidatingly
waving.
fast towards us?
It's coming in, and you hear Zane say, "I see you," and
Oh,
the shuttle
okay.
begins to move towards you. It doesn't seem to be decreasing in speed, though.
Ease up, Zane. Ease up, Zane. Ease up, Zane. Ease
Saying
up.
you gotta slow down, buddy.
About 50 feet from you, you see the retro thrusters fire for a controlled landing, and dirt and grass flies everywhere. Everyone roll me a fitness and security as another quake takes Karina 7 and takes
Oh
this
my
area.
goodness.
So good at that.
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my gosh.
Evasive action.
Oh,
Yeah, take
A
this.
crit. And that's like a total of 4 or something.
You know what? I'll take it.
oh my god, really? Have I got
Okay,
a reroll?
Takora and right now, T and Takora both fall over. Nat, you have a bonus with your crit to grab one of them, or if there's any rerolls that need to come up.
I think I'll use a reroll on this one.
How many rerolls do I have left? I've got
I'm
2. I think, yes, I have 2 rerolls left. Okay, in that case, I shall use one.
I got 1.
I'm starting to feel like I need to increase my fitness. Because I didn't really think about how Star Trek was basically a lot of running.
It's running 2 places and from things.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Wow.
So with that, as with the rerolls as they've come in, you are all still standing as Zane is able to. With shuttles are very user-friendly. Once you hit the landing sequence, provided there's not any environmental concerns or gravitational issues, it will lock into almost like we have cars that will parallel park for us now. They will land for you. And as it lands, it's not even on the ground yet when the side door opens and you see Zane going, "Did you see what I did?" And then it lands to the ground. "I wasn't down yet." And he begins waving to you all.
Yeah, Nat's gonna make sure she's gonna hop in and then help everybody up.
What happened to Sub Commander Datok, by the way?
He's with us.
Is he?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Oh yeah, he's running crazy. I just
I
didn't
want
have him.
He knows what's up.
I'll toss him into the shuttle, just like, up you go.
The talk does run and waits for a second by the door, almost as if he's not sure whether or not you're going to take him.
I'm gonna take him by the shoulder pads.
Get in the
We're
van.
getting out of here, all of us.
Watch my shoulder pads. As he gets
And
he gets thrown in.
are
Knock
there
off that
2
island.
seats at the console or just 1?
This is a regular shuttle, so we have 2 seats up front.
Okay, I'm
I
gonna take
suggest
one
that
of them.
the ensign.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, no. This isn't the runabout. I'm sorry. There's 1 seat up front for the regular shuttlecraft.
Amat's gonna push Zane out of the way.
I think T would take Zane aside and she's just gonna, 1, make sure he's okay, sit him down, because in her head he's still a child.
Yeah.
Sort of sit this kid down and probably scan him again to see how old he is right now.
He hasn't aged anymore
No.
in just a short period of time. Yeah. He's you can tell though that his heartbeat is very elevated. It's a man in his 70s that has just done something very exciting. And you can tell his endorphin levels are through the roof. He is having the time of his life.
Zane, that was great. You did great, but you really need to breathe for me right now. Just slow down, just for a second. Yeah. Breathe. We're gonna get out of here, aren't we? Right? We're going now. Like, sort of
Yeah, I think unless the ensign is I'll take us out. Just kind of based on pure instinct of go, 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 don't die. She's gonna get us out of here as fast as possible.
Let's do it.
Daring and con for me, please.
Yep, got it. Okay. I think anyway. I'll use momentum because we have some and we should go. I don't think I have an applicable focus. 2 successes.
Okay, as you launch into the air, you begin to rocket towards the Atmo. Behind, you can't hear it, but you can see on the sensors the seismic activity is creating the equivalent of a 10-11 on the Richter scale for about a 10-mile wide swath around Carina 7, around the settlement there. And you see that vast stretches of the vineyards are dropping into newly formed cracks in the crust as the entire village is swallowed. And as you are about halfway towards the Atmo, warning lights go up across the front of the shuttle. As Nat, you look down and you see that the left nacelle for the shuttle is extremely compromised. And just as you do that, you hear, "This is Reliant, come in."
6 to beam aboard, 4 with communicators, 2 without. Stat?
Very good, Lieutenant. And how many? And you see them searching, and you can feel the sensors going through as your communicators start buzzing as they're picked up in the field. just as the nacelle breaks off the left and you feel the shuttle begin to corkscrew in the air, and in your communicator you hear, you try to stay steady.
Okay. I will try to stay steady. And I said 6. 2 don't have comm badges.
As you begin to corkscrew, T, you're back there with Zane as he kind of gets pressed against the wall with you, as anything that's resembling artificial gravity is given away as the shuttle turns into a carnival ride. And pressed up against the wall, Datak is going, I am going to die. And Zane is laughing.
Ugh, someone's gonna puke.
No one is going to die.
Yeah, like
I'm
she's
gonna
just
try
like,
to.
you're not going to die. You need to. I said breathe, calm down. And she's sort of shouting at this kid, effectively, trying to get hold of both of them as they're both
You would all benefit from trying to take hold of your emotions.
and just that you get the sharpest look off of T. It's like, not now, later. And she's trying to pull these other two.
I'm trying to keep us steady.
And yeah, as the corkscrew continues, everybody, for the narrative vision of what a Vulcan looks like in freefall, Takora's hair is flying all around her as she delivers that line. You all need to keep your just an absolute picture of calm amidst even the natural forces having their effect on the Vulcan. But with that, as you are all looking at one another, and as the right nacelle fails, too much pressure, the Tritanium too weakened, it blasts free, and that moment of free fall grabs your stomach just as you all hear, and all the transporter takes hold as both Zane and Datak disappear. And a moment later, you are in the med bay of the Reliant. And as soon as you appear, the EMH, the doctor, looks around, nods, and walks over to T. What are your orders, doctor? And he has a smile on his face.
Hang on, I think I'm gonna be sick. Like, and she sort of feels her stomach again, and she stands up like, okay, right. Everyone on here could be contaminated, so no one, and looks over at Zane and Datak, like, is going anywhere. Just for a second, just. Yes.
Doc. I'm just gonna. Nope, it's fine. Don't need to say anything. As Takora found out, if the source of the tachyon sickness is from another planet entirely, isn't it likely that everyone aboard the Reliant is already infected?
Yes. Most
We
likely,
need to
but I'm
speak
not
to the
taking
captain
the
immediately.
Right. Fine. You do that, and she starts taking out all of those like little sprays and stuff. I'm going to start working with this information to see what I can do about it. And
Great.
frantically heads over to the computers and stuff.
You all realize that there is a force field up on Medbay, so you cannot leave. And Takora, you'd remember that this is the force field that you talked to the EMH through from the other side. And as soon, maybe 30 seconds later, you see Captain Butler Yates as he shows up, his long beard touching his top of his uniform. Report.
Nat immediately stands up and straightens out her uniform. Sir, where would you like us to start?
We beamed up the colonists. They're in the cargo bay at another force field.
It was awesome.
There's
We
a
had a
Romulan.
firefight. We pew-pewed some Romulans, and then the
Ensign.
shuttle stuff exploded.
Sir, there's a Romulan base on the planet. It has been there for 10 years, studying this tachyon sickness that they believed was caused by us. This is Sub-Commander Datak. This is Zane, one of the colonists who assisted us in our escape and also in the mission. The base is now gone. Cleansed.
Zane stands up and puffs his chest
Don't
out
you
as
dare.
he
I will
throws a
punch
salute.
you.
Acting Ensign Zane Knoll reporting, Captain.
Right, let's move on. There's a warbird in the system somewhere. Subcommander Datak was helping us. He was. I'm sorry, sir. This is very. It was.
Nat, it's fine. You're doing great. Just keep talking. There's a warbird in the area. This is the wrong side of the neutral zone. He looks at Datak. Datak
Yes.
straightens his uniform and his shoulder pads and rises, and for a moment regains a bit of that pomp that he had earlier, but can't meet the captain or any of your gazes, and just looks back down as Acting Ensign Zane Knoll, presumed space racist, is just eyeing Datak.
Probably near Karina 10, where the emission is coming from. Takora and the doc will have more information on the particulars of the disease.
We can't let you out. The doctor is isolated and we were able to throw up our shields. We're not contaminated, but at least not to the same effect as you all. We're not sure. The doctor is working on something, but now, T, that you're back, I need you to devote all of your resources to, if these Romulans were able to inoculate themselves, I know that you can find a way to do the same for us.
Of course, I'm already working on it. And she sort of turns her back on him, not out of rudeness, but out of, I need to get this done.
Oh, he doesn't take it as anything but, I need you out here. We can't move to this Karina 10 until I have a bridge crew in place. If there is a warbird out here, and he looks at Datak, and Datak meets his gaze for a moment and nods. We may have a fight.
Captain, I believe I need to make a report to the Admiral. Would
As
you
soon as
prefer
you're
that?
Takora, as soon as you're out of there. He says to T, but does not demand or command attention. Try to get Takora out first, if you would, Doc.
Yep, on it, like it just sort of waves back.
And the EMH turns towards the captain and says, can't you see she's busy? She's been through a lot. And the captain keep the channel open. If you need me, I'll be on the bridge.
Yes, sir.
And he moves off.
Nat, once Captain Yates is gone, finally collapses into a chair.
Takora begins pacing, hands behind her back.
Is anyone hurt? Zane, Datak.
The little girl's still in there as well, right?
Oh yeah, is she there as well?
Ugh.
The one that the EXO, sacrificed
Yes.
herself for.
Yep. Yep.
I just thought I'd mention it.
Oh yeah. That's great.
And you see Zane look at her for a moment. Who are you? And the little girl of 7 or 8 just stares.
It would appear that while she has physically aged, it has not extended to her mental capacities. I would assume that, much like the child that I believe you came across, which I wouldn't know anything about because you didn't tell me, but I'm just going to
tell you.
tell me at some point, aged all too quickly.
And T has already started scanning her to try and find out what age she is at, effectively.
She is contaminated with the tachyon sickness. However, her age is 32.
I'm just gonna watch Lauren for a bit.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done. Ugh.
She sort of sits there, 32, and just looks the child up and down, almost.
32 months, Doctor?
Years. Years.
How interesting.
Right.
Can you talk? Nat is not known for her bedside manner.
Whether she can or she won't, she doesn't.
Well, yes, Ensign.
Is now a good time to mention that I've had to go to the bathroom for like an hour?
Please don't do that in the midway.
I have to go. Is there a?
There must be a bathroom in the
Yeah,
middle.
I was gonna say.
There is.
She's like, just over there, just round there.
Okay.
Nat's gonna go closer to the girl, not with any kind of attempt at being concerned, but just kind of like squat and look at her and try to get a read on her emotional state.
Roll me
Yes, Greg?
an insight,
Okay.
and I think for you it's a insight and a command for this particular one.
Okay. I'll use some momentum because I think.
And we are also out of the scene, everyone. So
Oh yeah,
I'm-
so we don't have any. Yeah, this is totally different. Okay, so just regular. Would my focus of interrogation help me with this?
Are you interrogating her?
In her mind, kind of.
Well, interrogation suggests that you ask questions and getting responses, and then building your further questions off of the
I
responses.
did ask her a question. Okay.
Not this time. Yeah.
One success.
Can't get a read. You're not feeling an emotional read. You're not feeling anything.
I think very loudly that I don't like this kid, but I don't say it.
Doctor,
Yes.
is there anything with which I might be of use?
I don't know. How do you want to be useful?
Well, I have a background in science, including some biology.
Well, then you can start looking at these samples for me.
Certainly.
And it's the samples, it's the blood samples from the Romulan, but it's also the spray and stuff that they've had as well. And T will probably go, seeing Nat hone in on this child, thinking, okay, and
No, it's fine.
just
Everything's
sort of
chill.
like, okay, sweetie, do you think you could answer some questions for me? And she's just sort of looking at this child again, trying to get a read at the same time, just as like a second opinion.
The doctor, the EMH, says she doesn't say anything. She just sits there. I've been talking and being very polite.
Nothing.
She
at
says
all.
nothing.
Not
Nothing at all.
Polite.
Doesn't nod her head or anything.
I believe that she is in shock.
Well, did you follow procedure for shock?
Of course.
Okay, and
Yeah, look at her. She's got a blanket.
Voila.
right. Okay. she doesn't like, this is really thrown her. She's like, she looks to Nat again. Just don't shout. I know you're not shouting, but don't do that interrogating
What?
thing you do.
I'm
just saying.
standing here.
Yeah, no.
Can I stand in the medbay tea?
You can
Is that okay?
stand in
Oh,
the
I'm
med
sorry,
bay.
Lieutenant Commander. We are back on the ship, so you are my superior officer. I will not shout, sir.
And you just get this look. You're right. This is my department, effectively. So go sit in the chair.
Yeah,
Which
sit in the
chair?
chair. The EMH says.
Okay, don't know. Like, it looks over at the image. This is not helping at all.
Does he have a power switch? Is it in here?
I believe you can be simply deactivated with voice command.
Oh my god, the chair! Go in the chair. You don't turn off, and just you keep looking at the samples. She sort of looks over.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna sit in the chair, like put one of my feet up on something, and just like stare at this creepy kid.
And T will look at you. She'll be like, fine. You get the feeling she's more panicked about the fact she's got to find this cure effectively than anything else. And she walks over and wants to just try and find some information about this spray and how it can be modified. And also ask, if they'd taken a blood sample from the child that Nat is currently staring down yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see that there's been a bevy of tests done to most of the things in this particular century are invasive. So you can see a readout of her little frame, almost like a three-dimensional image on the wall, reading her vitals and all the things at all times, because she's just in the med bay. You don't have to be even on a table anymore. You're in the med bay, so your vitals are being read. It's good. You got holographic projections, obviously, because the EMH is in here, but you're able to call up anything that you would need as far as down to the genetic level, and you can read it, in 3D display. So yeah, samples have been taken. Her entire medical history is there for you to look at. What we're going to do, though, is I'm going to ask at this moment, because we're going to kind of fast forward things as we are now on a time clock for our Star Trek adventure. The time clock has several things involved with it. One is whatever's happening at Carina 10 has a termination point. The other is whatever the Romulans are doing is going to occur at a specific period of time. Datak has no clue what the current state of his warbird is, so he can't help you with what their mission may be at this point. But I will ask T and I will ask Takora, as you are working on a cure or an inoculation, it needs you guys can roll a reason plus medicine or a reason plus science. For every success over the difficulty level, you reduce the amount of time needed to inoculate one particular race or genetic makeup by an hour. All of you currently in this room are of a different genetic background. I will let you know this, the shortest one to do would be Takora. So I need to know who you're working on first, who you're working on second, and then when you pick somebody, we'll roll our reason in science or reason in medicine, and we will see how quickly you can inoculate that particular person.
I know T would be working on Nats just straight up, even if she's in a bit like of a huff with her anyway, but that would be the first one she'd try and roll for.
I
And
can be
what was that?
last.
Reason and medicine.
I find medbays very soothing.
Reason and medicine, and because Takora is still here, Takora can assist with reason and science.
Okay. Reason.
And again, can I use one of my focuses for this? Because I've got both viruses and mutations, infectious diseases.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can I use my focus of biology?
Absolutely.
Yay. Aha. Aha. Ha, ha.
Okay, so those are 4 successes, actually 5 successes, because I think, let me double check here, because you critted out on one of them. Yeah, so that's 5 successes in total. It would have been 3 hours to get something perfect for Takora, but because you're both working on this, it will only take 60 minutes before Takora, you have what you believe to be a working inoculation for the tachyon sickness. And Takora, we're going to cut to 60 minutes later. If there's anything anybody wants to do during that period of time other than rest, wait, or do some type of research, you do have the computers open to you here in the med bay, but you're limited as to what you can do as far as walking around and things like that. But within 60 minutes, Takora, you're ready to leave.
Okay. Takora will leave.
So
yeah.
Right. What's done is as soon as the inoculation is added into or provided to the transporter chief, they are able to then work it into the transporter matrix and the viral scanner. And as you all see Takora disappear from medbay, just out in the hallway, she reappears inoculated.
She's going to go straight to talk to the captain.
Okay. So let's just say, who is T going to work on next? You have Amat, you have Nat, you have Datak, and you have yourself.
So did I say I was working on Nat for this one? Yeah. Do I need to roll again?
Okay. Yes, please.
Yes.
I would like you to roll another. Now the difficulty will go down a little bit because you're kind of getting the hang of this a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it is a reason and a medicine as you formulate.
Okay. Oh my god. Can I re-roll that, please? Because it's just getting worse.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm supposed to be good at this.
Did you have all your stuff in?
Did she have one of my rerolls?
Just...
Wait,
Okay.
didn't she get like magic info or something? Can't she have that? To like make
That's
it
already been I already factored that into lowering the original DC. Yeah.
R.I.P.
So yeah. So
T's having like internal conflict with her own skills right now.
what I'm going to allow you to do is this. And we were actually going to do something with Takora in a moment that would do this. But if you look inside T, where all the characters are listed, you should see the Reliant. And if you pull up the Reliant, should be right underneath you, actually.
Yeah, no, I've got that.
Yep. If you pull up the Reliant, I will allow you to roll computers, and I'll allow you to roll medicine, and the Reliant will help you.
Ooh, okay.
As best she can.
No figure.
Okay, so together with T and the Reliance computers, which is in this case the EMH, or hologram, you're able to get into a period. You correct it, but it's going to take about 3 hours to get Nat inoculated, and that's 3 constant hours of you working. So we're going to kind of fast forward through that in a second, but let's go up to the bridge as Takora, for the first time, you take to the bridge of the USS Reliant, and you see that as soon as you walk on board, somebody in a blue shirt stands up from the science station, spins away, salutes, and walks off to the edge, giving you the science station on the bridge. And
Captain?
Takora?
It was my understanding that my posting here would be purely temporary. Am I to be your science officer?
The Admiral has stated that until such time I need your expertise, he indicates the science station, if you would.
I would be pleased to do so. Captain, the Romulan warbird,
Yes.
do we need assistance from Starfleet?
Starfleet will not be sending any assistance. The Federation has been in contact with the Romulan Council. They have said that any indication of an increase in fleet within the Carina system will be considered an act of war.
Logical. And Captain, I would like to say that in my report to the Admiral Talara, I would like to recommend Lieutenant Nalan, the Doctor, and the Ensign for their excellent behavior. It was a good away mission. And she seems almost a little proud.
Put it in your report.
I will. And let me know if there's anything I can help you with.
Absolutely. The rank of Takora is commander, right? Or lieutenant
No,
commander?
Takora's just lieutenant. But
Lieutenant?
I can be a lieutenant commander if you want me to. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Let's see. Where are we on retweets right now? If we get to 20 retweets, chat, we're going to have something fun to do, because right now the Reliant does not have an XO. And the Reliant needs an XO. So if we get to 20 retweets, chat, you will be deciding the new XO.
Yeah.
I will let you know it's going to be between the higher ranking people. Sorry,
Look,
Ensign.
yeah, let's be honest. It would be a terrible idea.
I love the
know where I
idea.
belong. I know
We
it's-
have to kind of follow certain rules, but
It's true. I know where I belong. It's fine.
absolutely. And as the work continues down in the med bay, Takora, Captain Yates looks over and kind of, as you're at your science station, pulls into your confidence. Is there any way that you know of that we can track this warbird when she's cloaked? I don't like the idea of this thing just popping out of nowhere.
Certainly. It would be helpful if Subcommander Dutok was more forthcoming, but I believe he does not know more than he is letting on. Is there a way to track, because they've got cloaking devices, right? So, okay, this is obviously OOC, because, you know, this isn't how a Vulcan
Right.
acts. I'm just trying to pull my Star Trek knowledge right now. So
Then roll me a reason in science and we will discuss it. And I'll let you know what you could possibly do here.
I knew I should have been an engineer.
And you can use the Reliant if you'd like to as well. So you have a success there. And if you look under the characters, you should see and have access to the USS Reliant.
Come on,
If you-
baby.
If you pull up her stats, you can use sensors and science if you would like to.
Yes, please. Sensors and science. Submit. Nope.
There you go. So
Right.
together, Science Officer and Reliant are able to come up with the following possibilities. As you're thinking through everything, a couple facts from the surface, you remember that Nat kicked the door in half, a tritanium door in half. It also leads to believe that if there is a measure of tachyon sickness that's getting into inanimate objects, and the captain told you that he raised the shields as soon as it was detected from the hologram or from the doctor, you do know that a warbird, while cloaked, cannot raise their shields. And so if she's running silent and if she's running cloaked, she's taking on tachyon radiation. That in and of itself, if she's taken on enough of it, she'll be trailing that stuff.
Takora relays this to the captain.
Excellent.
The trails of tachyon radiation would be visible. And we would have a further tactical advantage by, during the time the ship is cloaked, them not being able to deploy their shields.
Very good. Can you get us rigged to read that? This is going to require some physical engineering with the deflector array. So this is actually going to need an EV. You're going to have to go outside.
Yay! Yes, Captain.
So as you go down to the cargo bay and begin to look for an EV suit, they're all there ready for you. I will let you know this: you can go out yourself. I have plenty of red shirts to take with you, or in we'll say about an hour and a half at this time, Nat would be joining you.
I think that Takora would want to get this done as soon as possible, and because she isn't sure how long it would take the doctor to make sure that Nat is free from the tachyon sickness, I think she would do this alone. Well, with some expendable red shirts. Natürlich. Which is Vulcan, of course.
Right. You are given several, and not red shirts in this case, they're gold shirts from engineering. And
that's so cute.
I have not given you a chief engineer. I would like you all to come up with a chief engineer. So race, background, name. We have we have Willow Akana and a bunch of the other people, the captain, that are part of the bridge crew, but the chief engineer is a big, big role on a ship. And I want the group to come up narratively with the concept. Chat, that's you as well. If you would like to throw out suggestions, please do so. We need to have a chief here that's going to help on Reliant. And until that time, we will simply have gold shirts who are just as expendable for me as red shirts. But within about 15, 20 minutes, Takora, you feel the magnetization of your boots as they draw you into the Tritanium Hall of the Reliant, and in front of you, a door opens up into space. You are flanked by 2 engineers.
Can I just say I'm having so much fun right now? Okay. All right, in my evac suit. Looking out into space, thinking that this is the reason why she left Earth. That's right, Earth. She's gonna step out onto the friggin' outside of the Reliant. Oh my god, this is amazing.
So as you step out, even though you can't hear it, you feel the vibrations of your boots as you walk, and immediately as you step out, you pitch 180 degrees and you're walking on the belly of the craft upside down as you move towards what is the Reliance version of a deflector array.
This is so cool.
Let's cut back to the med bay, as at this point we're getting close to the completion of Nat's serum. Nat, Amat, and Doc, you're pretty busy at this point, but I want to ask the other two, is there anything that you want to do? Anything that you would like to RP at this moment as you are all waiting? You do have access, of course, to the talk. Acting Ensign Zane Knoll, and I saw what you guys have been putting up here, and so I'm immediately incorporating stuff. So, yeah, is there anything that you would like to do?
I'm gonna keep trying to get a rise out of that little girl.
Complete calm.
Yeah.
Her eyes are indicating movement. So if the doctor or the hologram doctor we'll just call the doc from now on. If the doc moves a finger, she'll track it, but not over and over again. She'll do it maybe once.
Anything if I mention Kalara? Like any kind of response?
When you say what?
Stoyer, that our XO. Nothing?
You don't see any? Mm-mm.
I will continue staring while T pokes me.
She is.
Yeah, I'm assuming that several times you would probably feel a hypo, like, shh, that's not right. And, as your vitals kind of flux on the wall a bit.
Yeah, if you move too much, you'll be like physically moving you.
You feel a lot of resistance.
Yeah.
But she's going along with it. She's getting really impatient. What's Datak's attitude like right now?
Datak is a particle specialist, and he occasionally will walk up and see what T is doing, kind of looking over her shoulder a bit. He's looking at the entire area as if he's drinking in what the med bay is. And several times as he kind of gets a little too close to T, the doc will turn around and peacock up in front of the Romulan. What are you looking at? Nothing. Nothing. Of course you're not. Sit down.
Datak, stop. Can you stop spying for 5 minutes? Just hang out. No, you're not. You're spying. Just chill.
You call it spying. I'm just looking around.
Amat and Zane are like totally spying. They're like sitting there, and like Amat's like quietly narrating this like it's Days of Our Lives. It's like, watch, and then my wife is gonna get super mad. Watch. Oh man.
And Zane is almost leaned into Amat, because if we haven't said it before, Zane basically fell in love with them during the first moments in the winery. And so as you lean in, Amat, every time that you lean in, Zane will lean in and touch their head, and it just lingers for a moment.
The Amat like sees Zane as now a younger brother, so like if like he touches their head, like Amat will be like, stop, pay attention.
I thought we were whispering. We're whispering.
We are whispering, but we can whisper without like getting that close. That's weird.
I can't hear you. I'm old.
Oh yeah, okay, sure you are, weirdo. And Amat will also like occasionally check their like data pad, I guess is what's typically used for communication, like in writing for Star Trek. I don't know anything about Star Trek. There you go. Fine.
Yeah.
Not say it.
Nope, absolutely. That's a great question to kind of give for a narrative, TK. And as you look down, you're able to have what is basically the precursor to the iPad, as you have a full readout on there that you can key in any type of social communication or report narrative or anything you need to draw from the ship itself. You have full access to the computers here on the Reliant, but as you're going through all of this, you can do whatever you would like. You have access to kind of your personal logs and stuff.
Okay, yeah, and they'll like occasionally like do the like surreptitious phone check, like just like okay, and then go back to like, oh yeah, see, look, her hologram boyfriend's coming back up over there. Like he doesn't even need to put anything on that shelf. He's just rearranging things for no reason.
I see that now. I see that. Yeah, and Zane's buying absolutely everything that you're putting down. He's picking it up.
Boys are weird. Like why does he do that?
Totally, yes.
Like she's not interested, so like why is he like up her butt all the time? It's so weird.
He leans away a bit when you say that, as if he is truly picking up what you're putting. I couldn't agree more. You gotta respect boundaries, I think, is the main thing.
Respect boundaries. That's what. See, watch, and like, see, her wife is like giving him a mean side eye. See,
I see it.
What are
That's
you
like
two
their
whispering
entire
about? What are you two whispering about?
What?
Shuttles?
Meanwhile, T is just talking to herself. Like all of this is going way over her head because she's too busy trying to sort out this cure effectively.
Doc, how much longer is this gonna take?
Any minute now. Any minute now, I swear. If I
I tell you what.
I could do something a lot worse to you.
Roll me a reason and a medicine to see if I will tell you this. The talk can help.
Oh god.
If you can convince him.
Oh, I bet he wants to help me. I bet he does. Because I've been so...
No, you're thinking about this. You're thinking about this wrong. He knows that if you get inoculated, you'll leave.
And Ahmad will be like, yeah, and then she'll leave, and that'll just leave him alone there with the medical officer. Yeah, and see how this is going. This is like a whole.
It's like a play.
Yeah,
It's like a play.
It's beautiful. It's a spider web of emotions.
Yeah.
Cheese cube.
Where did you even get that?
Well, I had some left over in my pocket. This one's got dirt on it though, so I just I
want to go back to the
brush it
bridge.
off
I want to go back to the
Do
bridge.
you want one?
No.
Oh, okay. Like Amon will be like, touchy, okay. Okay. And whenever Nat like turns around again, she'd be like, hey, look, do you think that anybody's gonna like you know how like in the films they like walk past and they like secretly brush hands, like their pinkies together? Let's see who does it first.
He pulls his hand away from yours at the ground as you guys are laying, as if he was almost
He's like starts to like the pinky crawl.
right. So
He's like,
he pulls it back. That's really juvenile for someone to try that.
that's so weird.
It's like Edith Wharton. What? And so as it's talking, let us. If you're going to ask to talk, I will lower the DC on this. But either way, you can roll me another reason and a medicine to see if you've made any breakthroughs in the past 2 hours or so.
Okay.
Nat's getting so impatient she might ask to talk for help. Even though
Yeah, if she fails this, she'll ask for help. Double success.
As soon as you get the successes, you realize, and this last little sequencer comes into place for you. And a minute after, like a beat, 2 beats, as soon as the doc sees what you're doing, he goes, "Oh, there it is, right there." You know, and he points to what you've just discovered. Because even holograms. And as you are able to put that together, it's only about 10 minutes later that Nat comes out into the hallway. You are inoculated. Who are you working on next? Yourself or Amat?
Probably on Amat.
Okay. So go ahead and roll me another reason and medicine. And if you want to talk's help, he can roll a reason in science.
I was gonna say, could
You must
I
ask him.
ask?
Before I leave, though, through the force field, I'm just gonna give to talk one of these. And then I'm gonna go.
He gets a little bit bristly when he sees you on the other side of the force field, and he nods respectfully, and then you see him walk right over to one of the wall monitors and just start looking at it, and he goes to touch it and just pulls his hand away at the last minute.
I'm standing right here. I will come back in there.
He shrugs his very large shoulder pads.
Ensign, Vol.
Zane jumps to his feet.
No, not
Yes.
Ensign Vol.
5 cheese cubes.
Yeah. Damn it. Watch our Romulan guest, please.
Oh, I am.
and like Amat will like and like do a salute, but then like do like a sly side eye at Zane, like, see what I tell you.
I see.
I think T would interrupt, like not looking back at this Romulan, but like you, like sort of slapping him, like, come here.
The talk comes over.
Right. Make
Yes.
yourself useful.
Ooh.
Help. Are you not
With the
going to make
computer?
yourself useful?
Yes, of course. Do you wish me? Is there a station you would like me to?
How did you tweak this for your own version? I need to tweak this, and I need to make the process faster.
I can assist with that. Can I work? And he indicates just one of the general computers against the wall. May I?
No, you can't. This is my station. You're gonna
I-
help, but you're not going to touch anything.
How can I help if I can't touch? Have your. What
You
is
will
this thing?
find a way.
Program?
You will find a way to help without touching anything.
I can help a lot better if you allow me to have one of these. Just a station. You can program it to just
I mean,
be
I could
local.
get the lieutenant back in here if you're being disagreeable.
I'm trying to help you. I'm already damned as it is. They'll never allow me to be back into the Empire. At least not to serve. I've been captured. Made to help.
Made to help. Look, what can you offer me without touching anything?
Moral support?
Oh, then you better go sit in that chair over there then. And she points over to Nat's, where Nat was sitting.
Amat like pats the cot next to them too.
You do not have to threaten me anymore. Just
I'm not
Listen,
threatening,
he-
I'm giving you
he
an
point-
order. Sit in the chair.
he points at Amat. They can watch me. They just have them stand beside me. I will be babysat, chaperoned, whatever it is you Federation types call it.
Federation types.
Yes, you all.
And I think T would just go back to trying on her own at first to see if it worked. And whether because she just doesn't trust this Romulan near anything right now. And can I use the
Okay,
ship's
and-
help as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can continue to use Reliant as much as whenever you're on board Reliant, Reliant will help you in however she can. So all you will need to do here is roll me another science, and then of course you can use the same corresponding ones for Reliant.
Right.
Ooh, there we go.
Do I need the Reliant for that? Or
Oh, you can add Reliant to it. So yeah.
yeah.
You have to succeed for Reliant to succeed. So, Reliant can't help you without you having a success. But as long as you have a success, then you're able to bring Reliant online.
There we go.
So for a total of 5, let me see how many of these are 4. So that would be 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 successes. You are able to make the breakthrough yourself. And as you sit down, you put the sequencer together and you can hear a sigh as Tatak realizes you just figured it out. And he goes over and sits down. Amat's will be ready in 60 minutes.
She's like, right.
Let's cut back to Nat. Nat, where are you headed now that you are free of the med bay?
She would go to the bridge first, although she really... She would ask someone to, I don't know if they have, like, notepads. She's gonna, probably communicate. I think someone in there should have manacles on them, right? Or am I the only one with manacles on this ship?
Oh no! The security personnel would have binders and
Yeah,
manacles.
Yeah.
And at the weapons locker, you could be able to grab as many as you'd like too. So if you want to start
Right.
locking people up, go right ahead.
It's just to talk, and maybe Zane, but just to talk. Because I'm not in there anymore, and he's literally an enemy agent aboard our ship, and he was being sketchy around the computer, so he needs to be detained even when I'm not in there. So I will
tell you this, because of the Defiant class that you currently have, she has a very interesting internal defense structure. She has the ability to create force fields wherever you want them. And so for the cost of 1 power, as soon as he sits down at that chair, he could have a personal force field around him.
Wait, that sounds so great. I don't know what 1 power means. Oh.
Inside the USS Reliant, you will see that I think she currently has... Is her power displayed on here?
It says total 10.
It should be 14, actually. So we just down to 13. I'll make sure I fix that for next time.
Cool. Yeah. That's a parting gift from Lieutenant Nealon to Sub-Commander Jatak.
Fine, I'll sit down. As soon as he sits down, shit.
And I go to the bridge, feeling very proud of myself.
Also, you are allowed to, if anyone has, I think it did on DS9, you can opaque the force field so he can't see out.
Oh my god, this is a dream come true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks as if he's sitting in there. You can see him perfectly fine. It's like a two-way mirror, but he can't see out. It's like he's inside a MRI machine or something.
Amazing.
Yeah. So yeah,
That's
there he
great.
is. He's taken care of. And then you're heading towards the bridge?
Yep.
Okay, so you get there, and as soon as you get there, the person that is currently at the security station behind the captain stands up and walks over to the side, giving you the security station behind Captain Yates. Nat, what's going on?
The doctor is working on inoculating all of us. Our Romulan guest has been contained within the med bay.
I saw the power spike and allowed it. Force field, huh?
He's nosy.
I agree. He indicates a corner of the view screen, and you see an inverted view taken from the exterior of the craft as the readouts at the bottom indicate Takara as she is heading towards the deflector dish of the Defiant with 2 other engineers from the staff. She's figured out a way that we might be able to find the Romulans even when they're at cloak. They should be trailing and bleeding these tachyons. They're not shielded when they're dark.
Smart. I'll start keying in our sensors to be compatible with that.
And so as we do all this, we are going to take a brief break, and we are going to come back with the exterior walk of Takara as we see exactly what the Defiant class Reliant, and our Vulcan class science officer can do. We'll be right back.
BRB, fellas.
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Reliant. Its continuing mission? To seek out new worlds, to defend all life and all civilizations, to boldly dare where no family has dared before.
Hello. We're back.
Oh, hi, everyone. Yes. Sorry. Okay, so as promised, as we get to the other side of our break, we now look on the underside of the Reliant. And as the you get to deflector relay control, and as it is staring in front of you, what you need to do here is manually reset what would be one of the main deflector relays outside. So it will, instead of being shielded from tachyon radiation, it will accept it. And with that maneuver, you will be able to then key the Reliant internally to follow the breadcrumbs if left by the Romulan warbird. So as you get forward, Takora, I would like you to roll a reason and a science as you look down at this section of Reliant. And because you succeeded, you can also do the same thing with Reliant, and Reliant will be able to kind of give you automated feedback inside your visual heads-up display as you are maneuvering things into position.
Okay, so wait, sorry. So am I rolling something with the Reliant stats?
Mm-hmm. You can roll for Reliant. You can roll a sensors and or a computer, either computer or sensors. I think it's the same for her, and a science as well, as you're getting like real-time data from the Reliant. Awesome. So with 3 successes, you get an extra success, as the DC was 2 on this, as Reliant's information kind of scans through the side of your helmet and is helping you with the calibrations, making things a little bit quicker as you're moving slowly in space. The 2 engineers are watching you work, and you hear kind of through your comm pieces, she's doing that so fast. Did you see? And you're as you're moving and unlatching and repositioning things, and they're moving to help, but what they're really doing is staying out of the way and doing the labor work, as if there's any type of different panel that needs to be moved so you can do what you're doing, they're popping access ports and stuff like that. It's basically just clearing the field so Takora can do what needs to be done. And with all of their help, you begin to move, and you're making pretty substantial progress. And roll me another reason and science as about 25 minutes passes.
Okay. She was about to like deliver like a sick line, but if this fails, she's not going to deliver that line. So,
but if it does, we get it, right?
Yeah. 1 success.
And you get Reliant again because you succeeded.
Okay, come on, baby. Can't believe I already feel so attached to this ship. No.
Yeah, the Reliant, the data's coming through, and your calibrations are pretty close. So you aren't getting anything to kind of aid you in this pursuit, but you get a little bit closer as you're kind of moving this massive dish using the external servos and stuff in the ship. And as this flat dish moves into place and begins to lock, another 20 minutes goes by, and I'd like you to roll one more reason and science for me. Successes, of course, means Reliant can help.
I just thought I might have had something that could have helped, but nah. Oops. Oh no, I'm pressing buttons by accident. Oh god. Okay, reason.
And you can use momentum too in this situation if you want. You know, I think
I will, because I need to look good. Oh, can I use a roll? Do I have any?
Well, you did get 2 successes, and so the complication.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Carry on.
Okay. Go, and if you want to, go ahead and roll Reliant too. Just you can add to successes. So.
Come on, baby girl. We can do this. Yeah. I don't like this ship anymore.
The Reliant, as soon as you lock everything into place, you see the readouts change, and on the side of your screen, you see the new tachyon field and the calibrations you've made go into play. And for a moment, you look at the readings and know that you have a lot more calibrations to do, because it's showing that the area around the Reliant outside the shields is flooded with tachyons, and it doesn't calibrate or make any sense. And just as you stand up inverted on the belly of the Reliant, you witness the decloaking of a Romulan warbird as the waves appear, and this green ship bursts through the area. Having detected your deflector dish trick, it begins to open fire on the Reliant. And in your ear, you hear Captain Yates, "Get inside now!" as you feel the Reliant lurch beneath your feet. Just at this time, T, you complete the injection for Amat, and you're able to set it into the filter for the teleporter or the transporter. And Amat, you disappear, and Zane kind of reaches for you as you disappear and reappear out in the hallway. You are inoculated, and you feel and see the LED line of red indicate that the ship has just gone to red alert.
Uh-oh. Guess I'll run at full speed for the bridge.
Okay, so let's stick with Amat. Amat, as you're running through the bridge, I want you to make a fitness and security roll as something rocks against the outside of the Reliant, shifting everybody in classic Trek fashion.
Very cool. I'm not going to use evasive action on this just because I feel like evasive action is something that you're already expecting, and Amat has no idea that the warbird is out there, so. Bloop. I lied, but I'm still going to take it, actually.
Okay. So what we're going to say is, for this complication, it's going to happen immediately. Amat, you're thrown against one of the walls, and as you hit and kind of slide down for a second, your prosthetic arm servos catch you and woo, keep you in place as you look around and feel the Reliant moving around you and the hum of the boards beneath you as she comes to life. T, back into the med bay. As you're sitting there, give me a reason and a science check as you kind of look around.
One success.
Okay, well, with one success, you look and you were kind of watching as Amat disappeared and they appeared back in the hallway. And as that rock hits, that kind of quake through the ship, you notice that the force field on the door of the med bay flickers for a moment and comes back online. But when you turn and look around, the hologram is not there, and neither is Datak. Zane is, and his eyes are wide, and his mouth is open, and the little girl is gone too.
And T will run over to Zane, probably because you're just like, what did you see? Did you see anything? Zane!
He looks down and you see a handle sticking out of his chest.
Zane? Okay, just...
And you see him fall towards the boards.
No. And she just sort of runs over and she's... I think she knows she can't do anything, but she's gonna try. And she immediately just taps her badge and calls straight in, whilst at the same time trying to see if there's anything she can do.
You can definitely tap your badge, but I'm going to need you to make a reason and a medicine check. And this is a biggie, as Zane, you're in medbay though. Reliant is with you. The doc, however, is gone for some reason, but you're in your Sancta Sanctorum, and Reliant, she's with you. But so momentum, you have your determination as well.
Yeah, I've also got on my focuses, I've got trauma. So... Oh god, okay. And then let's go to the Reliant. Can I re-roll?
You absolutely can, yeah.
Can I re-roll both?
Can we rename the Reliant?
Not reliable.
You got to remember, Reliant's not a science vessel, so you're going to really like Reliant soon. So, but right now, she's doing her best.
2 nat 2. That's what I meant, and then I'll use the Reliant as well.
So as you pull free what looks to be you don't know where this thing came from. It is edged and barbed, and you pull this dagger from the chest of acting ensign Zane Knoll. He looks down and his eyes meet yours as you just go to work. And as you're down working, no care about the blood that's getting up your arms and on your uniform, as you're grabbing your own equipment and spraying and injecting and doing everything you can to coagulate and heal this wound. You are, and if Takora were witnessing this, I dare say even she would be impressed by how calm T has become, as you are drilled into the act of saving a life. And the entire time, even though you've pushed everything to your periphery and it's just the act of medicine, you can hear Zane as he's whispering, "Greatest day of my life. Greatest day of my life."
Okay, stop. There's going to be many more after this one, as she's sort of still working away. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. And she's trying to stay calm, but his emotions now affecting her as she's trying to concentrate. She can't help but well up. And she's like, it's fine, okay? Just remember what I said. You got to keep breathing. Keep breathing, okay? And she's just gonna keep going and going.
And as you are working on acting ensign Zane Knoll, you realize that you are making a miracle happen, as someone that needed 5 dice to survive has received just that. And as Zane slips away into a controlled unconsciousness, you continue to work as the Reliant rocks around you. And as it rocks and you're continuing your movements, we cut in a montage from medbay to the bridge as Amat is continuing and runs into the bridge. And as soon as they get on there, the helms person stands up and spins, giving the con over to Amat as your position is there. And you see Captain Yates turn and look at you. Amat, take the con. And in front of the view screen, you see this green warbird zooming with the background of Karina 7. And we have Nat, you're at the security console. You're at red alert. The shields are up. When the shields are up and you're at red alert, even internal transporters do not work. So we cut to the exterior of the ship as we see the Vulcan science officer, Takora, and the two engineers staring at what looks like a Romulan ship facing them. And that's where we'll end this episode of Star Trek Perfection Shadow.
That was so good.
Oh my god. I'm so stressed.
And you're not allowed to show any of it, you're Vulcan. Right.
Wow.
We will head around and say hello to everyone. So say who you are, where we can find you, and your favorite bit from today's session. So we are going to start with our very Matt Val, our ends that eats a lot of cheese.
I do love cheese. It's me. It's TK. I write those spooky stories on the internet, and if you like spooky stories, then you should read them at tkjwrites.com or follow me on Twitter, TK Joins the Fray. In my pinned tweet, I have schedules of all my streams and stuff that I do. It's probably going to change next week because I can't be trusted. So that's awesome. Tonight, if you like spooky stories and you like role plays and Ravenloft and Dungeons and Dragons, then you should hang out with me on Wizards D&D Twitch channel, and we'll do Tales from the Mists. It'll be fun. We'll have a good time. That's it. Buy my book.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And then we're going to hop over to our very own Vulcan, Takora.
Hi everyone, I'm Ellie. I have been Takora, your friendly neighborhood Vulcan science officer. You can follow me on Twitter at _Kempestre, CEMPESTRE. I play here Fridays with this beautiful crew, and Wednesdays I play on the Greyhawk channel, 2 p.m. EST, Mordenkainen's Path of the Plains, where I play a super depressed arcane trickster rogue. Apart from that, I am the co-host of a podcast called Monster Crush, where every 2 weeks we talk about monsters, cryptids, and supernatural beings and whether we would smooch them or not. And apart from that, I'm writing my PhD at the moment, so I complain a lot about that. So please follow me on Twitter, come see Mordenkainen's Path of the Plains, and make sure you come back next week. And my favorite part of today's show, I have to say, just that final scene set up and imagining everyone like at their stations, like tea up to her elbows in blood, like Lieutenant Nolan like at the station, like, and then Ensign Val like sitting down at the comms like, oh shit, I forgot my cheese, and then Takora standing on the outside of the freaking ship watching a Romulan warbird come at them. I mean, Greg, this is ridiculously good, man. Stop it.
And we're now going to head over to our Lieutenant Nat, who has been a bit of a badass today. So hi, Lauren.
Just a bit. Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm that salty ginger over on Twitter. Yeah, all of that was super duper fun. I just want to keep going, but I always do. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, like I said, at that salty ginger. I play games around the internet with my friends. I play here on the Scraticus Academy twice. I play over on Off the Table twice. And then I'm part of the team of Tales from the Grim, twitch.tv/Tales from the Grim. I run a Lady Blackbird campaign on Monday nights at 9 Eastern with a bunch of awesome, awesome people. And then this Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern is our series finale of Project Athena, our long-running Pulp Cthulhu campaign. So prepare for emotions. They will be there. I will be there. Greg will be there. Hopefully we're all there after it ends, Greg. All of us friends.
Awesome, thank you. And we are going to hop over to our very wonderful DM, Greg.
Oh, I had a fantastic time. This group is so great. Chat, fantastic. Chat, such interaction, such passion over here at the Academy. Absolutely love this community and being a part of the collaborative storytelling process. And I also love that we share such similar reactions when Lauren goes completely just emotive in mute, when you just see the wild gesticulations. It's my favorite thing ever. So and this group is just so invested and so passionate and such powerful role players. It is really an honor and a privilege to be able to tell a story with everyone. It's just great. So many thanks to Scrat and Alice for letting me come here and tell this little tale with these great people and let them pick up the nonsense I put down and spin it into gold, a la Rumpelstiltskin. But my name is Grimjack21502 on the Twitters. On the Twitch, the aforementioned Tales from the Grim. I am going to say that, yes, Project Athena ends this Sunday night. Please, if you get a chance to check it out, it is verified as the longest running Pulp Cthulhu campaign on the YouTubes. And it ends this Sunday, and we've had a blast doing it. So we get to say goodbye to some fantastic characters there as well. But I will say this. I know that we got really close to the retweets, everyone. Next week, the very first retweet we get, we're at the front of a combat situation, and Captain Yates is going to have to name somebody as the XO for at least this particular exchange. It's a Mott. So we need to make sure that that happens, as it would tactically be part of the Federation and the Starfleet protocol. So you all are fantastic. We are going to do it next week when we start. I can't retweets in the future. Yes. So I can't wait. And everyone, thank you so much for your contributions. Always remember that this is a collaborative narrative. Everything that you've put down has been absolutely fantastic and so well timed to make the heroes on this bridge of the Reliant do their thing. But can't wait till next week. Can't wait to play. Can't wait to be back at the Academy. I will see you all then. If you want to go chat on Discord or talk on the Twitters about it, I am there. See you next week, friends.
Awesome. Thank you. And Greg, that session was seriously awesome. Just like all of those images and the fact that you can just create this game and these images, it's so awesome. I'm so chuffed that I get to play in this. But other than that, my favorite bits were probably where everyone had their own individual bit going on. There's more interaction happening. Like we've got Nat really booting in a door, not just a little bit, but then using it as a shield to keep going. We've got our Vulcan being a Vulcan, basically, and being outside the ship and just going for it. And Val, I just love that they're always there with cheese to try and lighten the mood and have little emotional, even though they're not emotional, but yeah. And I'm so chuffed and I'm so pleased that I went and re-rolled those final things and managed to get it, because I was like, oh my god, I don't know if I could have taken it if Zane had died. But anyway, I'm White Rabbit Pick, and that's where you can find me on Twitter. I do photography stuff, so feel free to go and check all of that out. And when I'm not doing that, I DM on this channel, I play on this channel, and I also play in a seriously awesome Lady Blackbird campaign over on Tales of the Grim, which is in by Lauren, and a Highlander Cypher System campaign that's coming up that I'm also super excited for. So definitely go check them out. Otherwise, Discord, you should definitely go check it out. It's full of lovely people, and there is a chat room specifically for this campaign, so you can go hop in there and talk about everything that's happened so far and get worked up, basically. If you want to get into one of these games, drop Scrat a DM on Twitter. We have 5 viewer games this season, and I think one of them is already full until the end of the season, so get in there quick. Also, we have a Patreon, which is one where you can support us. There are some free articles on there as well, written by the lovely Renee. We also have merch, which you can get via Redbubble. And last but not least, we have some really awesome sponsors in the form of Bird in the Storm, which is our very own tool school, and Bird vs. Plane, and also Mage Hand Press that created the D&D 5e Dark Matter. So other than that, we are now going to go and raid Surprise Round RPG. So head over there and send them loads of love. I don't think we have a raid cry, but just head over there and throw in the Scrat hype. So other than that, keep evoking emotions, guys, and we will see you later. Bye.